Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Target Loot today for October 25th, the series that shows you the Target Loot map, farming tips and tricks, vendor reset highlights, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy my content, please consider pressing those subscribe and like buttons below. In the pinned comment, there are links to join my Discord, my clan, my channel, all sorts of stuff, but we'll cover that and more at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and get started with the Dark Zones first and the highlights from the vendors this week, then DC, and finally New York City Target Loot highlights last. Alright agents, so this is your daily reminder to do your weekly SHD requisition for your first exotic cache. Your second exotic cache is going to come from finishing floor 100 of the summit. Now you can do this all by yourself, or you can do it in group, and of course you can just jump to someone who's on floor 100 or start from wherever they started. You know, say it's floor 80 or 90, and it will still complete the project for you. And remember, this is a named item cache. That includes any named item in the game, including Dark Zone exclusives. And then finally, we got the weekly legendary, so that's Capitol Building Stronghold on legendary. I highly recommend a turret drone build for most of this mission, and maybe a headshot build at the beginning for that really long range field. But yeah, that's your third exotic cache and first named item cache for one character. So that's 3 exotic caches and 1 named item cache for each character, up to 4 characters. Alright agents, now we're over here in the highlights for the Dark Zones, Target Loot, and vendors for this week. So first off, starting off in DZ West, we got Grupo Sombro. You can go ahead and get the Door Kicker's Knock with Perfect Spark. It is a Grupo Sombro Dark exclusive, Dark Zone exclusive, but Perfect Spark doesn't work the way it used to. It actually works the way it's supposed to now. It's not bugged anymore, so I don't know if you guys still need it or want it. Now over here in DZ South is definitely the highlights of today. We got SMG Targeted Loot. This is probably my favorite thing to be targeted loot for in the Dark Zone. You can get the Dark Winner with Perfect Killer and the Apartment with Perfectly Measured. Both of those submachine guns are absolutely top tier amazing SMGs. I have so many build videos, probably like 5 build videos with at least the Dark Winner or the Apartment in it from TU10 and TU11 that I highly recommend. So I would go farm for those today if you can. Of course, in the DZ South vendor, we do have the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfectly Wicked, I believe, if you want to grab that up as well. It's 152 DZ resources. Same with any named item in the Dark Zone vendors. And then finally in DZ East, we got Tip of the Spear. I don't recommend farming for this, but if you want, you can go to the DZ East vendor and get the Black Friday named DZ exclusive LMG with Perfect Unhinged. That is a Dark Zone exclusive LMG. You can go ahead and grab that at the vendor for 152 DZ resources. Now let's go check out the North Side Target Loot highlights. Alright agents, we're over here on the North Side Target Loot highlights. Starting off with Camp White Oak, we got Sokolo Concern. So if you're running any SMG, you definitely want to run Sokolo Concern. Anywhere from 1 to 3 pieces, depending on if you're wearing a True Patriot or Hunter's Fury gear set. I always look for a vest or backpack, and all red, weapon damage, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage on them. And of course for the chest, you're looking for Intimidate or Obliterate, and then for the backpack, usually Adrenaline Rush or Vigilance. Over here in Coney Island Ballpark, we got marksman rifles. So of course you can get the exotic Mantis. The Nemesis is still locked behind a quest, but if you are in a group and someone's farming for it that has the Nemesis, like myself, it can drop for that person. So then they can also drop it for you, and it will complete the quest line for you. Otherwise, you can get the Ekim's Long Stick and or the White Death. Those are the 2 best MMRs in the game that are named. We also got Ongoing Directive at Coney Island Amusement Park. I don't normally use this gear set. I don't recommend it completely, and I think it goes well with Ridgeway's Pride. If anyone can comment below on your experiences with Ongoing Directive, that would be fantastic. And then Walker Harrison Co. over here at Manny National Zoo. You can farm for the Chain Killer with Perfect Headhunter. Absolutely great chest piece. It always needs to be run with any headshot build. And then the Matador does drop, but it drops from target loot rewards, i.e. like completing the mission here. Otherwise, it won't drop from an NPC. That comes with Perfect Adrenaline Rush. And then lastly, the Summit. I keep it at Hunter's Fury. I mean, you can pick your own targeted loot. You can pick your own targeted loot privately. It doesn't have to be the same as any other person in your group, or if you're solo. You know how it goes. Just comment below and let me know how the loot's working out for you. Otherwise, let's go check out the West Side Target Loot highlights. Alright, agents, we're over here on the west side target loot highlights. So I first wanted to get this started off with the gear sets, just get those out of the way. You can get the Foundry Bulwark, your Federal Emergency Bunker, and Future Initiative and Foggy Bottom. Now the reason I combine those together is because both of those, the chest and backpack pieces, are still locked behind the Operation Iron Horse raid. Now of course you can get any other piece besides the chest and backpack for these two. They're pretty good. This is amazing for healer builds, and then Foundry Bulwark is great for the armor regen and tank builds. We got Negotiator's Dilemma, DCDHQ. I got a build for that and I'll put in the top right card. It's a double LMG build, crowd control and shredder. I would definitely recommend it. It also goes good with ARs and SMGs. So just kind of whatever you want to run it with. And then finally, Aces and Eights at DARPA Research Labs. You can run 3-piece with a perfect Headhunter chest piece and 2 pieces of Arelda Holding. Put Vigilance or Composure on the backpack. Otherwise, you can run it all high-end. That's the only use that Aces and Eights really has that I know of. Alright, now with actually the brand sets and weapons. We got Assault Rifles at Lincoln Memorial, so you can get the Mechanical Animal, Future Perfection, the Exotic Chameleon, which is really, really good. And then, of course, you can get the Burnout named FAMAS. There's all sorts of named ARs. You can just get one of the best weapons in the game that's an AR, which is the FAMAS, the Military AKM, the Carbine 7, the Police M4, and the G36s. We also got knee pads at Roosevelt Island, so you can go ahead and get the Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, Fox's Prayer knee pads, and then of course the Sawyer's knee pads. I recommend all 3 for just different variations of builds. The Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads give you that 25% bonus armor when you cover to cover a vault and reload your weapon, and skips the backfire bleed as well. Sawyer's knee pads, that gives you up to 30% extra weapon damage sitting still, and Fox's Prayer knee pads, 8% damage to targets out of cover. Multiplicative damage, which is the best damage in this game. And then basically we got Providence Defense at Downtown West. You can get the Sacrifice with Perfect Glass Cannon. Amplifies all damage by 30%, but also amplifies all incoming damage by 60%. It's a trade-off I'm not willing to make. I always run Obliterate or Intimidate, but if you're looking for it, you can grab that today. Alright, let's go check out the East Side Target Loot highlights. Alright, agents, we're over here on the east side target loot highlights. So starting off with the gear sets, we only got a couple. True Patriot, American History Museum. Of course, my favorite build I'm running in TU 11.1. I'll put in the top right card now. That's a 4-piece True Patriot build I'd highly recommend running. And then Eclipse Protocol at Southwest. 4 pieces with Imperial Dynasty and 1-piece Golon Gear knee pads is what I personally run. Absolutely amazing fire damage chem launcher. Alright, now with the rest of the loot, we got shotguns in Downtown East, so of course you can get the 3 best weapons in the game that are shotguns. That would be the Mop with 10% armor on kill with close and personal rolled on it, the Custom M870, and then of course the Marine Super 90. For the exotics, you can get the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun. I never run it, but you know, some people actually do. We got Overlord at Grand Washington Hotel. This is where I would farm for Fox's Prayer knee pads. That's 8% damage to targets out of cover. Like I said earlier, that's multiplicative damage, the best damage in this game. Especially if you're running an M1A or any rifle, this is absolutely mandatory to run. We got holsters at District Union Arena. You can go ahead and get the Imperial Dynasty holster, the Dodge City holster for the exotics, and the name holster, which is the Forge. That's an extra 50% shield health, a whole skill tier worth of shield health just for running that holster, so it might be worth it to run. We got LMGs at Jefferson Trade Center. You can get the exotic Bullet King and Pestilence, and then the named LMGs like the Good Times with Perfect Fast Hands, the New Reliable, Quiet Roar, Carnage, the Sleipnir you can craft at the White House. There's all sorts of named LMGs. We got Hana U at Viewpoint Museum. That's the Force Multiplier backpack with Perfect Combined Arms. Extra 30% skill damage every 3 seconds that you're shooting and hitting an NPC or player. And then of course we got Bellstone at Air and Space. Last thing to recommend is Everyday Carrier with Perfectly Efficient. And I still haven't gotten the Perfect Bloodsucker talent on the Liquid Engineer backpack to drop from Target Loot rewards. I know it doesn't drop from NPCs, but yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've gotten it to drop from Target Loot rewards since TU11 has come out. Alright, let's go ahead and check out New York City Target Loot highlights, and I will let you agents go. Alright, agents, we're over here in New York City Target Loot highlights, the last Target Loot highlights for this video. So first off, we got Badger Tough at 2 Bridges, 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable. Absolutely great chest piece. Roll it with an armor core, and then crit hit chance and crit hit damage with a crit hit chance or damage mod on it. We got rifles at Stranded Tanker. You can get the Diamondback and Merciless exotic rifles or a good classic M1A, especially if you run it with those rifle damage talents that I always talk about: Boomerang, Rifleman, and Ranger. They're the 3 best rifle talents in the game. I personally run Boomerang. And then of course you can get the Baker's Dozen, classic M1A named M1A. And then of course we got chest pieces at the Tombs. You can go for the Tardigrade exotic chest piece, or if you have it, the Ridgeway's Pride. If you don't have Ridgeway's Pride, like any other exotic, you can run it with a group and they can drop it for you if they get it and they've completed the project. For gear sets, we got Hardwired, and then Strikers at Wall Street, and Hunter's Fury at Liberty Island. Hardwire's good 3-piece with 2 pieces Hana-U, 1 Wyvernware for the turret drone build. Strikers I don't use ever, and then Hunter's Fury is amazing. You can run 4 pieces in all sorts of variations. We got Douglas and Harding at Battery Park. This is where I would recommend the Punch Drunk Mask with 20% headshot damage baked into it. Pair that with your perfect Headhunter chest piece headshot damage build, and it's absolutely merciless. And then finally, we got Petrov at Financial District. You can get the Contractor's Gloves with 8% damage to armor. I highly recommend farming for this. It's an amazing glove, but of course, I only run it on LMG builds. Alright agents, well that was the targeted loot for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed my content. If you would like to become a member for support and exclusive perks, you can click the join button below. And shout out to Hyperdrive. Thank you for becoming a legendary tier member. I appreciate your support so much, man. Otherwise, you can grab some Shadow Gaming merchandise. I just added a bunch of new designs about a week ago. And also I lowered the prices across the board on every item in my store. But unfortunately, the promo code for free shipping is over as of today. That was a $8 savings I had going for about 2 weeks. Thank you to everyone that did buy something during that 2-week period. You can also support me on alt tech like Patreon and Subscribestar, but really, if you're still watching this video right now at the end, thank you. That's truly the best way to support me and whitelist me on your ad blocker. Take care, agents, and be sure to stay tuned for more daily Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care, agents.